Hey everyone, I'm here to go over a few things that you can do if you're dealing with neck stiffness. And so, most times when you deal with neck stiffness, what people tend to do is go straight to stretching. So, doing things like this, doing things that way, maybe even doing some like neck circles and shoulder circles. But in some cases, the muscles in the neck are actually not very strong and have poor endurance. So, I'm gonna go over a few exercises that you can do to kind of help with endurance in the neck muscles. That way you can combat any soreness that you may be having. Let's go ahead and get started. For those of you dealing with neck stiffness or soreness, achiness in the upper trap areas or in the neck, here's a few exercises you can do to actually strengthen those muscles. And all you need is a resistance band and a pillow. So let's go ahead and get started. So this first movement that we'll be doing is called a chin tuck. And the reason I'm using the pillow is because the pillow is there to offer me a little bit of resistance, especially for those of you that may be dealing with a little bit of pain, or if you're just beginning to do neck exercises and you need something a little bit less strenuous than using a TheraBand. So what I'm gonna do here is I just focus on pushing my head down into the pillow and tucking my chin down. When I do that, I'm gonna hold it for about 5 to 10 seconds, and then I'll go ahead and relax. It's very important that when you're doing this movement, that you're not just shrugging up and tensing everything down. If you do that, you're probably not gonna access the deeper neck flexor muscles that we're trying to strengthen. And so make sure that you press nice and gently, and then the goal here is trying to hold that position for a few seconds, and then go ahead and relax. Once you've gotten this down and you feel like you want to progress to something more, then we'll lose the pillow. And now what we'll do is a deep neck flexor nod where I'm tucking my chin and I'm slightly lifting my head off of the ground. And then once again, trying to hold this position for about 5 to 10 seconds, and then maybe building up to about 30 seconds. Ideally for me, I like people to be able to reach 45 seconds to a minute holding this position with their chin tucked, and without doing that. If you can hold that position for about 45 seconds to a minute, that's a pretty good sign for the amount of endurance you have in those deeper neck flexor muscles. And so think about 45 seconds being a goal for you when performing this movement. All right, you guys. So next, we're gonna add a little bit of resistance. We've just been using the weight of your head and then also using resistance from a pillow, but now we're gonna try to actually use a band. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into what's called a quadruped position, where I'm on my hands and on my knees, and this band's gonna go right behind my head, okay? So from this position with the band behind your head, I'm still gonna work on doing the chin tucks. So tucking my chin, pulling my head up, and then controlling the way down. I'm not pulling my head back because the band's just gonna come off, and I'm not letting the band pull me down. I'm trying to maintain a really good stability of my neck muscles, tucking my chin, slowly coming down. Tucking my chin, slowly coming down. Just my head moving, not doing a push-up. I'm just moving the head. And this is a way to progress that chin tuck movement that we were doing on the pillow earlier. All right, everyone. So one more thing that you can do with a TheraBand to help progress some of the movements that we went over earlier today is rotation and side bending movements with the TheraBand. So in order to do that, you'll have to have one long enough that you can go around your head. And then what we're doing is we're working on tilting our head to the side and turning away, and then slowly coming back to the starting position. So then that way, we're able to challenge the muscles in our neck in a rotating and in a side bending position. So with this one, you can just do a little bit heavier of a band. You can do holds for a certain amount of time. And then if that's too hard, what you can do instead is just focus on keeping your head in a straight position and then offering some resistance. So now we're working the neck stabilizers in an isometric position. So those are just a couple of simple neck exercises that you can do, but it's also important that you go to a medical provider like a physical therapist to determine if those are what are right for you. In some cases, you might actually want to do different movements to help with any overactivity of the muscles here. But if you are dealing with weakness, those are some ways that you can get those areas stronger. Take care, everybody. Happy holidays.